you guys have seen a lot of videos of me talking to women and picking them up, and I have a very unique view on attraction with women that I think that a lot of you guys should hear, and I think that is very unique and something that not a lot of people talk about. Now, I've read all the literature on what current science thinks about attraction, and to be fair, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Nobody knows why women are attracted to guys in the way they are, and there's a lot of theories, but none of them answer the full question. So this is actually my unified theory of attraction, because nothing I've seen so far has covered it all. And this system right here seems to give a clear understanding what attraction is to women. And I thought it might help you guys out and benefit you. Once you guys understand these rules and this attraction style, looks no longer become an issue. It's a lot easier to pick up women. It's easier to come from a deep understanding of attraction and to actually become the sex-worthy man that you truly want to be. So let's get into it. I've been doing this for 12 years now, approaching women. I used to really suck. I have tons of infield online if you guys want to see it, and I just posted up an infield here about 5 seconds ago, yesterday, but it's posted up if you guys want to check it out. It's me picking up a Latina chick, but I have tons of videos with me of beautiful women, a lot of little clips, little shorts. I have an entire playlist of infields if you guys want to see that. And I have a lot of coaching clients. If you guys have ever done coaching with me, if you guys have ever done a boot camp, coaching calls, let people know in the comment section below that this stuff actually works. All right, you guys have actually seen me in person. You guys have actually worked with me. Let the people know that are watching this. And if you are somebody who wants to get coaching, I just opened up the New Year's Eve Bootcamp. The first person to sign up will get 1/3 off. It starts on the 1st of next year. It's the wildest time to be in Las Vegas. Yes, it is taking place in Las Vegas. It is insane. 3 days going really hard, approaching women with me. I'm not one of these coaches who tells you to approach. I approach with you guys. I'm also gaming alongside you while I'm also coaching you. I also get to see your nuances, your problems, because everybody has their own individual flavor of game. Everybody has their own flavor of sticking points and traumas that you have to work through. Any coach that teaches a one-size-fits-all style of game or one-size-fits-all style of coaching doesn't know what he's talking about. You are a unique individual who needs tailored coaching, which I provide. If this does interest you, the very first person to sign up gets 1/3 off. Text NYE to 702-841-9909. So let's get into this. So what we're trying to become is the exception to the rule type guy. You're trying to become the exception to the rule type guy. Now, what is that? The things I'm trying to teach you guys to do are actually very rare. It's only like 1% of guys that actually can exude this kind of energy that makes it to where the things that most guys really give a fuck about are not at play. And it's actually what I teach my clients. I teach them to handle this. It's not every guy that can exude this. Most guys don't have the traits that, well, actually, I'll explain it through the video here. So firstly, you have emotional and logical attraction. Okay, so you have emotional and logical attraction.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
What?
Fuck!
Okay, so firstly, you have emotional and logical attraction. Now, this completely explains everything inside of attraction with women, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. Now, emotional attraction is actually the thing that's hardest for guys to get down, and to be fair, most guys can't actually utilize this lane of attraction. It's because it's a very rare type of guy. You have to be the top 1% type of guy to exude this kind of energy. It's very difficult, and if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't think you are, you can't do this. We're made for tribes of 25 to 150 people. Now we're in a tribe of 8 billion. So traits like these that I'm going to teach you guys were actually a lot easier to show and showcase. Yes, it was still a small percentage of guys that could do this. For every 2 mothers, there's 1 father in our lineage. So we're a very competitive species. So for you to be able to exude these traits that women find attractive, even back then, it was still a rare trait. And it's even rarer now that the hierarchy makes it difficult, because you look at somebody, 8 billion man tribe, look at somebody at the far end of the spectrum, somebody that's like a 0.001% a guy like Drake, where women are all over him, and it's hard for you to believe in yourself. So it's hard for you to exude emotional attraction tactics. All right, so let's go down it. What are some emotional attraction tactics? So honest signals. The way you move, the way you speak is sexy. Speaking from your diaphragm, adding pauses, giving eye contact, slow languid movements, like the similar ones you see in Peaky Blinders, or you see with most celebrities. They also can vary the pitch, pace, and tone of their volume, so they have a wide range. They have an expressive voice. They also speak with clarity because they believe in what they say. They don't mumble. They have very loose body language. They can have moments of stillness, but can also attack when they need to. They move like a lion versus moving like a deer. If you're somebody that snaps to attention or you're very anxious all the time, you're going to naturally move in a way that is anxious and not very sexy. Girls want a guy that's relaxed in his environment. It's an indication that you're winning. All these things are signs that you're winning in your tribe and that you're a high value guy. They're honest signals, but you can't move like this unless you believe you are this guy. So I do a lot of different exercises to help out my clients with this. One of them is what I call extreme self-gratitude. It's a very good exercise. Hype yourself up every day. Basically just gratitude, but with yourself, which if anybody wants to actually know further about that, let me know. But it's a great strategy because the self is always coming through. And if you don't believe you are this person, you can't move in a sexy way. It's very hard. You'll actually viscerally fight. Your ego won't allow you to do it. It doesn't think that you're the guy's supposed to. For me, this took me a long time to even deepen my voice. If you guys see me in like my older videos, I had a very high-pitched voice. If you guys look at my older videos, I also do have a tendency to speak fast. I start adding pauses that fix the problem. And also with clients, usually building rapport versus breaking rapport tone. That's also indication of high status. You don't need validation from people. You are self-validated. You have an internal locus of control. Now here, let's get to the next one. Pre-selection. Again, if you're in a tribe and you're pre-selected by women, you have hot women around you. You guys probably have these situations where women are fawning for you, then other girls like you, or you have a girlfriend and other girls like you, and they can almost smell it off of you. They almost smell that you have a girl, even if they don't see her. If you have women, you're going to be pre-selected, and you also have to be more likely to be able to exude honest signals. Body language, tonality, the way you speak, the way you use your words, etc. Now, the next one is leadership. Do men follow you? Do men trust you? Do men admire you and respect you? Women won't fuck a guy that she doesn't respect. Now, what is logical? Logical is basically environmental. It's ego alignment. So, for example, if you're talking to a girl, she's like, I don't want to date anybody who's a Trump supporter. Okay. It's because her ego doesn't align with it. She has her ego says that anybody that she doesn't align with people that follow Trump or that are liberal or Republican or religious, or if a girl's very insecure of a certain race or height or certain thing. But again, all these things are overpowered by, what is it? Emotional attraction. They're all overpowered by emotional attraction. So this is what the thing is. This right here is way more fucking powerful than this, by far. If you have this overpowers this. So even if a girl has an ego alignment, if you have this will overpower this. But the problem is that most guys can't use this, so then they fall back on the logical attraction, which is what we're all logical creatures. Men are more logical than women, but we're also not. We think we are. We're more logical than women for sure, but we're also not logical. Like we do a lot of self-lying. We make emotional decisions, back it up with logic after the fact. All humans do this, and if you don't know you're doing this, you're probably doing this really bad, to such a bad extent. You have zero self-awareness. So it's basically ego alignment. You can actually even move a girl's belief in you, because the girl's not going to have an ego about you. You can usually so there's something called frame battles. There's logical and emotional frame battles as well. Logical frame battles are that you're sexy. If you believe you're sexy, you'll move in a way that's sexy. You'll believe in yourself, and because you believe in yourself so strongly, and she doesn't have an ego against you being attractive, her ego will naturally align, or her belief system will align with the fact that you are attractive. So it's a cool way of it's a good understanding. So if you ever disalign yourself with her ego, of course she's going to reject you. So that's a big thing. Now, the next thing is trauma. A really good example of this is that girls emotionally want a bad boy, but not logically. They emotionally want a bad boy, but they don't logically want it. So if you are logically a bad boy, like she's like, he's a player, etc., etc. She wants a player, but she doesn't want to. The logical side doesn't want her to have a player, but the emotional side does. Actually, a really good example of this is if I'm talking to a girl's friends, I will be the bad boy emotionally to the girl, but logically to her girlfriends, I'll come across as a nice, cool guy. And that's a really good way of like circumnavigating her friends. Her friends like, oh, he's so nice, and then she's like, even the girl might even say you're nice, but you're exuding bad boy traits. So even though she logically thinks you're nice, which is good, you're emotionally hitting the bad boy traits. Unless she ego aligns with a bad boy. Maybe she's like a young girl or something like that, and she hasn't been traumatized enough. Maybe she still aligns with a bad boy, and so then she'll still want to go for a bad boy. But a lot of girls have trauma around this. So I had a text thread with a client about a week ago where he hit on some trauma, and I saw it, and it's very common trauma for a girl, for example, to go for the top tier guys that have all the options with women. And guess what happens when you go out for a guy who has a lot of options? He's going to be more likely to cheat. So he goes along his line about making jokes about cheating on her and shit like that, and she obviously stops texting him. Like a girl emotionally wants a guy that can cheat. She doesn't want to go for the guy because trauma is now involved. It's why girls, as they get older, they're still emotionally attracted to the bad boy, but because of trauma, they'll start going for nicer guys. And also logically, they know that they're on a ticking time clock, so they'll go more chase a stable guy when they know that the other guys won't date them seriously. That's logical attraction. Now she's going to go for like the financially stable guy because she knows she's on a limited time clock. She won't, sometimes, like, again, she'll make the decision to do something like this, an emotional decision, and then she'll find the logic after the fact to consistently stay with the fact that she loves her guy. You can also get Stockholm Syndrome with a guy if she stays with him long enough. There's so much shit that goes into play with this. Now, she also cares a lot about what her social circle thinks. If you make her look good to her social circle, like you got a good Instagram, shit like that. If by her being in your presence, so I had this guy who was, he was a Calvin Klein model. Now this guy couldn't get 8s, 9s, or 10s. He's honestly like the peak of being attractive, but 7s liked him. Why do 7s like him? Because I'm dating a Calvin Klein model. I must be pretty too. And so then, like, it looks good on paper. And to be fair, she did cheat on him a bit, and that kind of sucks. But again, it comes back to it that it wasn't the physicality that necessarily, like, there is a portion of it where it is physicality, but again, if you're hitting the emotional attraction, everything else becomes second nature. Like, have you ever seen this? I haven't. So nothing I've ever seen in attraction aligns as good as this one does. So a lot of guys will be like, money matters. And I know so many guys have money that are not good with girls. Looks matter. And I've seen so many guys that are not attractive that aren't good with girls. And I've seen so many guys that are considered attractive, like on paper, where they have a jaw, they're symmetrical, they got the six pack, and girls don't like them. But then I've seen guys who are homely looking almost, and girls love them just because of the person they are, just because they hit the emotional side. But again, it's a rare kind of person that can do this. So a lot of us don't see this because, again, in a tribe of 8 billion people, it's a very small amount of people that can have that access to that side of themselves, to believe in themselves, to allow themselves to move and speak in a certain way, to be cocky, to be confident, to be arrogant, even to be assured. You go into an environment of guys bigger than you, and you're like, man, he could kick my ass if he wanted to. Now you feel a little insecure. It's very hard to get that thing. And now, again, past experience does also play a part in logical. So if a guy looks a certain way, this is like what a fetish is. It is actually aligned with fetishism. So if a girl's had good experiences with a guy who looks a certain way, let's say a guy's like 6'4" and 6-pack, and now he feels more confident because he's tall. He has all the attributes of being a handsome guy, and she has a better chance of these guys being more attractive because these guys have the traits that they should have this. And so the girl's going to backwards rationalize, I like these kind of guys, until she dates you. Then you become the fetish. I've had so many girls where I'm not their type. Then after dating me, they start dating guys that look just like me because I became the fetish. Because I now, the same way that you might, like a guy might like fat girls because honestly, the guy's probably never had sex with a model. He will backwards rationalize that he only likes fat chicks. It's like why fat girls like certain types of guys that usually like fat girls. That's what they'll say. It's the same kind of thing. So if a girl has good experiences with guys who are tall, because they're generally speaking more likely to be cool, then they'll find them attractive. But it's also why a girl wants to talk to you longer. She wants to feel you out, because what a girl really cares about is emotional attraction. So instead of like a girl immediately wanting to go to bed with you, because if they only cared about looks, they'd be rushing for the bed, and so they want to talk to you. They want to feel your emotional attraction. Just make sure that you on some level you have some value. Is why when a girl is drunk, instead of going for maybe necessarily the quote unquote most handsome guy in the room, or like, so when a girl's sober, she'll go for the highest value, highest status guy, and not status of things, status of personality, status of situation, status of social circle. And then when they're drunk, they care less, and a guy that's more insecure, she'll be more likely to fuck. Whereas like for a guy, we're more likely to fuck a less attractive girl if you got game, if you're drinking. Now, if you're sober, you're more likely to have a higher standard for yourself. You probably couldn't get as easily attracted to an overweight girl if you're somebody who's abundant. In the same way, a girl who's drunk, she's more likely to fuck a loser and then feel bad about it in the morning, not because the guy's not attractive, because the guy's a fucking loser. And so you got to understand this. If you don't have this right here, all you have to go off of is this. Okay? All you have to go off of is this. But if you think about it this way, if this was all that mattered, girls wouldn't be acting the way they do. So it's a dual system. These things both matter, but this right here matters more. Okay? This does matter, Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm out of it. I don't feel like I'm in the pocket all the time. Sometimes I get insecure and then I fall back on this. But I know how to get myself to have this by going out. You teach yourself how to warm up over the course of the night, and then you get that as you warm up. The more in the pocket you are, I mean, imagine some of you guys have gone through breakups. Do girls like you when you're going through a breakup? No. When you're sad, do girls like you? No. When you're really confident, you guys probably had moments or peaks or moments where you're in state. It's because now you have this, because now you're exhibiting this, and now because you have this, you get more of this. Now because you're confident, you could probably even get more of this. And if you're really talented and you have skills, that's also this. And that's actually something I probably should put over here too. Girls like skills. Not any particular skills, like you could be a writer, singer, you could be talented, something that you can express. Me, I'm very socially talented. I started singing, started dancing, started boxing, because I want to hit this note right here. Talent and skill is a very emotionally attractive thing. It's why girls, when they see a guy who's talented, based in tribes, like if a guy's talent, the guy has value, the guy's more likely to have this, this, and this. Because the guys, if you're talented, you're more likely to have resources. So you have the ability to speak in a way that's powerful. Because like, who's going to kick you out of the tribe if you're talented? Because you add value to the tribe. So the more value you add, the more like your brain's like, okay, we can exhibit these kind of traits, and we don't have to do these bitchy traits that are playing not to lose. But now we can play to win because we can't get kicked out because we have skills. Okay, I hope this made sense, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I hope that I made this pretty clear. This is I still sometimes have struggled to explain this because it's a very convoluted, like, attraction is not, everyone wants to make attraction so easy to understand, and to be fair, it's very complex and hard to understand. It's very all over the place. This by far is the best system that covers all the reasons that girls act the way they do around men, and everything else has so many holes in it. So this is my unified theory of attraction. I hope this guy's helped you guys out to become this. Okay, we're becoming the exception to the rule. Become that guy where this shit right here is overpowered by this. Whatever situation you're in, obviously work on this shit too. Make sure to keep this in mind. There's also a really cool, from this game understanding, you can also utilize this to navigate certain situations with women. Hope this helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, let me know. That being said, peace.
We are so ready for the war. C-A-R-T-E-R. Put the B in E-R. I'm colder than B-R. Add another 3 R's. Watch me like D-V-D-V-C-R. Pump to your chest, I ain't talking CPR. Riding this track like a motherfucking streetcar. New Orleans coroner, his name is Frank Mignon. Fuck with me.